Hi, everyone. Week 4, book 4 of our summer series. This week's book is called Blessed Union. It's a book by the Reverend Dr. Sarah Griffith Lund. It's a book about breaking the silence about mental illness and marriage. This, for her, in many ways, was a follow-up book to her first book, Blessed Are the Crazy, which explored the relationship between mental illness and the wider society and, indeed, church. Both of these are books of testimony. She speaks out of her own experience about what it means to live with mental illness and with those who are mentally ill. And it is a profound testimony, both to the hurt and to the hope. There are a lot of things we can do to address some of the challenges of those struggling with mental illness and those who love them. Some of this takes the form of things we need to stop doing. Churches need to stop talking about mental illness as a form of demonic possession. We as a society need to stop thinking about mental illness as somehow separate from or different in its nature than physical illness, as though that were different. And we need to offer funding and resources and education similar to what we do for physical illnesses. We need to stop speaking of those with mental illness as though they are uniquely violent, because in fact they are far more likely than others to be victims of violence, not perpetrators. We need to be a place that welcomes the whole person. One of the things we need to stop doing, which may be the most unhelpful thing we do, is not talking about it at all. Because when we don't talk about it at all, we add to stigmatization and fear and shame and secrecy, where we pretend like this is something that isn't happening, that it somehow isn't in our lives, in our families, certainly in our communities. We know that it is. And while the field of diagnosing and understanding and treating mental illness is in many ways still in its infancy, there is still some important things that we can do, and much of it is found in our own testimony. We are in this together. She looks at these challenges through the lens, in this book, through the lens of our blessed unions, our covenanted relationships. And the fact is, it's not only about marriages or partnerships. We make a lot of covenants. We make a lot of vows here at church. We make baptismal vows. We make confirmation vows. We as a community promise to care for our children as beloved children of God, and for one another in that same way. We make vows of church membership, who we will be for one another. And that covenant should inspire us to be there for one another, to trust one another with our whole selves, which is hard to do. But again, church is not a place where those who pretend like they have it all together come and celebrate themselves. This is a place to be real, where our whole lives are brought together before God and one another, and we offer one another love, guidance, support, healing. If nothing else, we are here to remember that we are not alone. We're here to tell the truth, and we'll try to do some of that this Sunday. There's a lot more to be said about this, both of what we could not do, what we should stop doing, and what we could do to offer resources and support. If you want to hear actually from the Reverend Dr. Sarah Griffith Lund herself, she was actually a guest on our podcast about 9 weeks ago on April 16th. That episode was an interview about this book and about her ministry in general. I commend it to you if you'd like to find out more. In the meantime, though, if you're joining us in person, we are open. That is wonderful. If you're joining us online at the time or another time, also wonderful. We hope this means something to you and to those whom you love, and we hope this contributes in a real way towards making this a place where people can live in health and wholeness, because this is us. In the meantime, be well. We'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye.